Grand Rising, a wonderful Black Hot Fire family. Welcome to the 54 Correspondence Show on the Black Hot Fire Network. My name is Spikes, and in case you're joining us for the very first time, this is a show we get to discuss what is happening across the beautiful continent of Africa. We get to give you news and updates on current affairs, as well as other developing stories around the beautiful continent. Of course, if you would like to get a hold of us on our social media platforms, we are live and interactive on our Facebook, Black Hot Fire Network radio station. You can also find us on Twitter, Black Hot Fire. We are also available on Instagram, Black Hot Fire Network. You could also shoot us an email if you would love to. You can also shoot us an email by writing to us, blackhotfireafrica@gmail.com. And we would like to get your feedback regarding some of the matters that we get to discuss or to tackle right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. There has been a very, very kind of a negative image that has been painted about Africa. But on the 54 Correspondence Show, we aspire to really show you matters as they are on the ground so that you are able to make an informed opinion of different issues, ranging from economic matters, tourism matters, political matters, social economic matters, and other issues as well, because we choose to report objectively regarding some of the things that have been taking place on the continent. And we also aspire to be an African think tank, where you can also be able to come up and offer solutions. Not just talking about the challenges in Africa or the demerits of things in Africa, but also being able to forge solutions as we discuss these issues on the 54 Correspondence Show. We are also on different platforms. Like I said, you can also find us on Instagram, 54 Correspondence, also on Facebook, 54 Correspondence, as well as on Twitter, 54 Correspondence, in case you would like to raise a matter particularly to do with this particular show. And today we shall be discussing a very, very important matter, and that has to do with business or the ease of doing business. We shall be considering the business environment in different African countries, and we shall also be getting to rank, or really to compare the ranking of these individual countries, ranging from South Africa, Egypt, Morocco, Kenya, Nigeria, among other different African countries. The question will be which of these countries are more favorable when it comes to setting up businesses, starting up the businesses and also operating your businesses. We do realize for some countries, we might not even have their ranking. For example, a country like Somalia, I'm not saying that there is no business happening in Somalia, but some of these countries will not really have their ranking. There has not been the full account over the business environment in these countries, and therefore we might not be able to really tell you much as to how business is running in those countries. But we shall also be looking at some of the countries that are at the top. It's very, very important that even as you embark on finding information regarding maybe where to set up shop in Africa, you also do get to consider matters such as energy, matters such as also the business amenities as well. and also matters to do with legislation in these different African nations. And we shall be getting into that as we proceed. Like I said, in case you're joining us for the very, very first time, I do hope that you are doing well, and this is a rightful place where you can get information regarding the beautiful continent of Africa. And like I was saying earlier, there has been so many things that have been said about Africa when it comes to the challenges. People do think outside there that Africa is a place where it's all like a jungle, but you might be shocked when you come to Africa, moving for very, very long distances before you come to encounter any jungles. If at all you are not in the Congo, which is considered to be the second land of the earth, then you will not be covered up in any jungle in other parts of the continent of Africa. And that has been a kind of an image that has been tainted about our continent. But nonetheless, I just want to go straight into it before we talk about business and the ease of doing these particular businesses. There has been a couple of other channels I do see putting up information regarding the ease of doing businesses on the continent. For example, we do have a doctor. Her name is Dr. Hanet. Let me just get up one of the videos where she has also really touched on the matter of doing businesses in Africa, and perhaps she shall consider also some of the matters that she has gotten to encounter. For countries such as South Africa, I would just like to go into South Africa. For countries such as South Africa, there is the challenge to do with the energy. The energy sector has been facing a very, very big challenges, and we have seen the government even trying to put in place the production of energy using nuclear power. And if you come to look at it, South Africa is the only country that does get to use nuclear energy in nuclear in terms of the production of electricity in their country, but still it has not met its demand. And therefore, if anyone was considering really starting up a business, and that would be perhaps maybe a business that is energy intensive or power intensive, requiring so many hours of non-interrupted supply of electricity, then perhaps when it comes to a consideration for South Africa, it becomes a little bit difficult because it's not that regular assurance that you will be finding, a steady supply of electricity through the whole time. And maybe perhaps you're involved in a business that is producing or is a production concern, and your business is totally reliant on the electricity. And then maybe that would be a bad idea. But I do believe the government led by the South African president, who is Cyril Ramaphosa, he has been putting together, I do believe, some measures to try and see how they can salvage also their power company in South Africa. Of course, this particular power company has actually been experiencing challenges, and these have to do with the management problems, management problems. And time and again, we have seen ESCOM. We have seen the company is actually known as ESCOM, which is the only electricity utility in the country. It's a monopoly. But you have seen time and again the government trying to bail out this company known as ESCOM. It hasn't really succeeded with that. We have seen, I think there has been some bailout a couple of times that the government really has not succeeded. There has also been the problem of poor management. The management of this particular company has also been another very, very big challenge. But according to the Ministry of Mineral Resources and Energy, South Africa's total domestic electricity generation capacity is 58,095 megawatts from all its sources. And currently, coal is by far the major energy source for South Africa, comprising about 80% of the country's energy mix. One of the things that we have realized on the continent of Africa is that there is not the proper harnessing, not the proper harnessing of the resources. For example, if you go to the Congo, in the Congo, there is a very, very big potential for the production of energy using hydroelectric, making a hydroelectric power. But none of these has been utilized. I do believe, or maybe if there was a total the total harnessing of this particular resource, the rivers, the big rivers in the Congo, then we would be able to even have total enough supply for electricity around the continent of Africa. But you do see, I do not know of any African country that is energy sufficient and has been exporting its excess to the other countries. South Africa, some of the time it does get to export energy to Zimbabwe. It does get to export electricity to Zimbabwe, but there is also the challenge of its own, internally, it's not really energy sufficient. Electricity sufficient, and therefore that is one of the biggest challenges that are a little bit difficult. And nonetheless, I was talking about the ease of doing business on the continent of Africa, and that is our discussion for today. We are asking ourselves which countries on the African continent are really promising and are really easy, or are really easy for people to be able to start up their businesses and succeed, and what business models maybe perhaps have been used in terms of setting up something that will actually help you help you gain wealth, and also be able to employ people. Because at the end of the day, I think that would be the best if you are able also to create employment on the continent and also make wealth for yourself. That would be the way to go about it. Nonetheless, I just want to share with us some of before we get into the assessment of how easy or how difficult it is setting up our businesses on the continent. I was talking about Dr. Hannett. Dr. Hannett, she does have important tools. She does have important tools when it comes to setting up our businesses on the continent of Africa. And at some point, she did get to talk about the best business model for the diaspora, which people can also get to engage with. I won't share that, and then we shall come back and now also talk about the ranking of different African nations when it comes to the matter of ease of starting and operating a business in these countries. Before then, let me share with you the presentation by Dr. Hannett on some of the businesses and some of the business model when it comes to the importing sector in Africa. And I believe maybe some of us have interacted with her.
Hi dear African Wisdom Starters, this is Dr. Hannett, and we are here at Pinazi Cassava, which is a cassava flour factory in Rwanda. We're here about 2.5 hours outside of Kigali with our Africa Business Mission Group. And we came here to the factory to see how really high quality cassava flour is being produced for the export market. Cassava flour, as you may know, is gluten-free, and there's a huge demand coming up in the West for gluten-free products. I can tell you in the United States, there are hardly any gluten-free products in the shelves. And even in Europe, it is fast coming and it's well advanced already. But cassava flour is not being much used in the production of gluten-free products. Now, if you're interested in importing products from Africa that are high in demand in the West, then stay tuned throughout this video, and I will let you know at the end of this video how you can get started and how you can start your own importing from Africa business, make good money, create passive income streams while supporting the exports of the continent, which is really an agenda for a lot of government in Africa who seek to increase their exports to increase revenue. I quickly want to show you the cassava that just arrived this morning. So it's a bit loud from the factory, but I hope you can hear me. So the trucks arrive here from the farms. The cassava roots arrive peeled. So the farmers are actually hand peeling them, can you imagine? And they're being hand peeled, they arrive here, they're paid, and then they're washed here. So after that, they look white. And let's go inside the factory, just bear with me. So here we're in the warehouse. This is the flour. Look at this, it's absolutely amazing. There's so much of it. Look at that. Oh, wow. So this is cassava flour, gluten-free, made in Rwanda, made in Africa. And if you are interested in learning about how to import cassava flour and other products from Africa into the world, products that are high in demand in the West, then click my link below. This is Dr. Hanet, live from Rwanda, Kinazi Cassava Factory. Amy, what are you holding here?
High quality cassava flour from Kinazi Cassava in Rwanda.
Wonderful. So the Africa Business Jumpstart, this is the final product. We've seen the process. And if you're interested to import gluten-free cassava flour into wherever you are.
Here I have holding Kinazi cassava flour, which is 100% organic from Rwanda. Some of the best cassava flours in the world. I just came from the factory. I've never seen so much cassava flour in my life. This is the best thing that I've seen in a long time. Gluten free.
Gluten-free.
Okay.
What are you promoting? African products?
African products, yes. The one and only the best. Land of a thousand grains and thousands of great export opportunity, high quality, certified in Europe and America.
And for those of us in the diaspora, great importing opportunity, correct?
Yes, the best.
So do you support it? Do you support this factory?
Yes, 100%.
And did we hear how much it helps farmers?
Yes, we did 100%. I think we spoke to the farmers have been taken out of poverty, they improve their lives, they're sending their kids to school.
And everyone around us is putting on.
That's a little bit of Dr. Hanet, and she was talking about the opportunities for importing, and she does gets also to share a little bit when it comes to information to do with some of the businesses that people perhaps might engage in the diaspora can engage in right here on the African continent. And I do believe there is that particular chance for people to get to enlighten to get to enlighten themselves in terms of what opportunities are available here. First and foremost, I do believe in the agribusiness sector. You will find many opportunities for people to engage in that, and also value addition. When you're talking about cassava flour, the cassava flour that she was just showing a little bit earlier on, I do believe that there is also the potential in that. Not just that particular field, but also in other different fields. In the matter of getting to find yourself something productive or an industry that you can get to engage with and make some money from that particular one. And nonetheless, I wanted to get straight into the matter of our conversation and how easy, which countries are actually very easy for anyone to set up shop and also succeed in operating their businesses. And we do have the compilation or the list on Atlas. There's a list that has been put together on Atlas, which helps us understand which countries on the continent are really easy to engage in operating businesses. And there has been the ranking of different nations, which we shall get into right now. And Doing Business 2020 report reveals the willingness of a large number of African countries to improve their administrative procedures. This is reflected in the various reforms encouraging the creation of a small and medium enterprises. You do not really have to have so much money to be able to set up a business in Africa. I do believe that you do not really need to do that, but you also need to put in a lot of time in terms of researching on what particular kind of a sector that you want to get to. The Doing Business 2020 report ranks countries according to their business environment. They do get to use indicators such as regulation. What regulations are there in terms of setting up your business? What infrastructure is there already that has been established? Because you also want to go and start a business where there is some relative level of good quality infrastructure. The people are also involved, and also the cross-border trade that are cross-border border trade that is also taken into account in this particular making of this rank. And you will find when it comes to African countries, we do have the first country, which is Mauritius. Mauritius is a tourism hub. I do believe one of the businesses that you would perhaps get to engage in Mauritius would be a tours a company. If you're trying to have a tours company bringing in tourists from different parts of the world, taking them to Mauritius, then that would be something, because it's a good place for tourism. It's one of the high ranking tourist destinations in Africa, and it becomes number one in the region. There is a regional ranking in Africa. It becomes number one, and of course, the world ranking, it's at number 20. This is from the presentation here. I do see it's being ranked as number one in 2020. That was last year. These are reports are from last year, and I do believe even this year it so much applies to almost to be the same. The second country that has been ranked in Africa, this is Rwanda. And I just shared with you a little bit of the video to do with Rwanda, because Rwanda is working on improving its infrastructure. Rwanda is also working in terms of minimizing the paperwork that is required for anyone to be able to set up a business and continue operating. When we were there, we did get the opportunity to see the Rwanda Investment Board. And the Rwanda Investment Board is also another platform where you can be able to go up and get some full information, and also have a one-on-one. Let me just see if I'm able to get that. For the people in the diaspora, or for people who just want to go to Rwanda and just set up, I do believe the Rwanda Investment Board is just one shop, one shop where you can be able to do that. There is also foreign investment in Rwanda. I do believe some of the areas maybe that you would perhaps invest in Rwanda would be areas such as real estate, because there is a demand for affordable and also decent housing in Rwanda, and that is a way to be able to find one of the areas that you might decide to go into. And there is a website which is this investment, the Rwanda Development Board. And the manufacturing sector in Rwanda is still small, but still growing at an annual rate of over 7%. Rwanda targets to increase industrial contribution to GDP to 26%. That was according to last year's plans. And market access, Rwanda's strategic location has boosted cross-border trade and increased trade volumes with her neighbor, especially East and Central Africa, with an estimated population of 268 million. Key products exported that include beverages, dairy products, processed foods, and construction materials. So those are some of the areas that maybe you might decide to check into. If you don't want to go into real estate and building people affordable decent housing, then you might also decide to try go into the dairy industry, or the beverage industry, or the processed food industry, or the construction materials industry. Because like I said, in Africa, the population is very, very much growing, and therefore it would give you a wonderful opportunity if you also tap into these markets, and you also check in on the stability of these areas, and also the cross-border policies when it comes to marketing, the cross-border trade policies. That would also be a wonderful thing to get to look into. So there is that, the Rwanda Development Board. You can be able to get yourself much more information regarding that, and you can also use other portals. You can also use other portals such as this to be able to find out more about investing in Rwanda. Rwanda foreign investment. You'll be able to find out more information to do with that on these different platforms. Apart from that, we also do have this platform, which is Rwanda, visit Rwanda.com, which also gives you other opportunities to be able to get more information. There is a 8.16 average year-on-year real GDP growth from 2000 to 2011. Of course, there has been a disruption by the COVID-19, but I do believe Rwanda will also be growing very, very fast once it's able to get back on track. Some of the things why you might decide to look into Rwanda, because there's a sustained high economic growth which has been happening apart from the interruption with the COVID-19 global pandemic. But there's also robust governance. There's also access to markets, the market of over 10 million people with a rapidly growing middle class. And there is also the investor-friendly climate in this country, and also the untapped investment opportunities. You might decide to go into the infrastructure, opportunities in rail and air transportation to further develop Rwanda as an East African hub. You might also decide to go into agriculture, look at which is the backbone of the economy. There is a lot of potential in areas such as productivity and also value addition, like you did see with the cassava mill company that the mill company that I did share with us a little bit earlier. which is also something that Dr. Hanet was mentioning earlier on that video. And you will also find there is in their investment incentives in Rwanda. Some of them have been explained on this particular one. Just go to visitrwanda.com, then click on investment, and you will be able to find out areas where you might try, where your expertise or skills, or you might want to invest in. There is also tourism. The tourism, their unique assets are creating a booming sector with a growing potential in banding and a business conference tourism. We do have one of the biggest conference venues, which is known as the KICC, the Kigali International Conference Center. And it's also, when it comes to businesses and meetings, it's another big market. Maybe perhaps you might try to look at, apart from the interruption once again with the COVID-19 that has disrupted even the meetings industry meeting sector. It's a little bit affected, but I do believe there is a potential and it might also recover. There is also potential in the real estate and construction area, and also in the financial services sector, and also in the mining sector. These are some of the areas perhaps anyone would consider getting to invest in Rwanda. But going back to our rank again, Rwanda is the second country in Africa which has been labeled as friendly when it comes to setting up and operating a business. We also do have Morocco. I am not really sure how many might want to go set up in Morocco, but Morocco has been labeled as the third country on the continent of Africa when it comes to the ease of doing business and also setting up, whether be it from local investors and also from the diaspora, or from investors in the outside. And apart from Morocco, there is also the matter of also the culture. The culture. You might want to go to a place where maybe perhaps the culture is also something. You also have to look at cultural matters before you also set up a business or set up shop in an area. And also when it comes to language and other things, and apart from the infrastructure and the capital, and these are big things, you also do have to look at things like culture. Kenya has been labeled number 4. And I do want to say that Kenya is really doing the most, because right now, when it comes to setting up business, you do have the e-citizen platform. We do have the e-citizen platform. There has been a bid to sort of digitize. There has been a movement to digitize everything, and therefore you can find one shop. Let me just call it online shop, where you can find all the information regarding different services, how you can register for these particular things, how you can get the permits for these. That now can be found on one platform, which sort of is a centralized platform, where you do get to find all this information regarding the ease of or the ease of registering and also setting up and also starting. You also have to look at the tax regime. You also have to consider the tax regime. But we do hope that Kenya as a nation, because we are here. If you do have any question regarding Kenya and regarding how regarding any sector that you might like us to check for you, we are here, and we will be obliged, and we'll be happy to help you with that particular area. But nonetheless, we also do have Tunisia. Tunisia is another country, and Tunisia is also a nation which has also been considered really good in terms of operating a business. It is considered to be sort of really safe, because you also have to look at the political stability in that particular country. And again, I was also talking about the matter of also the culture. I was talking about also the matter of culture. So Tunisia and Morocco are northern African countries. I do believe they have a considerable investment which has been going towards infrastructure, such as electricity and among other things that are being developed in that particular country. Maybe internet and telecommunications, telecommunications infrastructure, the roads, the road networks, the also other different areas of infrastructure. There is a development in that area. South Africa also comes in. South Africa also comes in as number 6. And I wasn't surprised that South Africa is lagging behind. I wasn't really surprised that South Africa is really not considered to be at the top of the list. What has been happening really is that, like I said earlier, there has been the challenge with energy, and the government, like I said earlier, has been trying to bring back ESCOM to the level of where it's supposed to be, so that they can be able to be energy sufficient in the country. or electricity are sufficient in the country, because the energy demand is very, very high. South Africa is considered to be the most industrialized African country, and therefore you would imagine the demand for electricity energy is very, very high. But the challenge is that is one of the challenges in terms of other infrastructure like roads. Some of the best roads you can find in Africa are actually in South Africa. But we also do have the South African nation being followed by Zambia and then Botswana. Zambia, I would not really see it ranking as number 7, even if it has ranked as number 7. But it seems like, because for me, why I do not agree with Zambia ranking as number 7 according to this, maybe they have put in place the proper infrastructure, and maybe they are working on things like legislation and other important things. But what I do see is that Zambia, the challenge really there is corruption. When you're talking about doing business, you also need to be in a business environment where there is not as much corruption going on. And therefore, that is why I do not really consider Zambia to be number 7 on the list. Maybe we would have other countries. And also, someone might think that when you come to looking at the list or the ranking of African countries, you would think that Nigeria, being the largest economy, presents the number 1 opportunity, or ranks as number 1 for the ease of doing business, or for the ease of starting and starting and operating a business. No, it doesn't work like that. It's actually ranked as let me tell you the ranking of Nigeria. Let me see, is Nigeria even on this list? Nigeria is actually ranking as number 21. Nigeria is ranking as number 21. And in case you are wondering which country also ranks is the last, which country is also the last in terms of doing business and why, according to me, there is this particular ranking of the number 54, which has been considered to be Somalia. I had talked about it earlier, and I was saying even getting to quantify or even put it on the report, it's also a bit challenging, because we do see Somalia has been rocked by instability. The infrastructure in that particular country is not any great. You cannot talk about quality road networks in Somalia. You cannot talk about safety for your property, because you want to go and invest in a place where you're assured your property is being well guarded and it's being well protected, not just a place where you have been you want to go to and set up a shop while you are not having the assurance that your investment is well protected. And we also do have the second last country, which is Eritrea. Eritrea is also ranking at number 53, and I do believe Eritrea sort of, one of the things I do believe that makes Eritrea also rank very, very poorly is also the kind of legislation that is in this particular country, the framework. Let me just call it the structure and the framework of that particular country when it comes to business. If you remember correctly, last year, when there was it last year or 2019? I do believe that was in 2019. Many countries were ratifying, many countries were actually ratifying what we call the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, so that the people, the countries would remove the 99% of the non-tariff barriers. And Eritrea, the government of Eritrea was on the sideline. It did not want to get engaged with the ratification of these Africa Continental Free Trade Area. So I do believe when it comes to the structure or the framework under which the businesses get to operate in in Eritrea, it's a little bit rigid, and it's not really as liberal as it should be, and therefore perhaps that is why we are seeing Eritrea ranking very, very poorly at number 53 out of the 54 countries on the continent of Africa. And we are looking into the report on the ranking of our different African countries when it comes to the ease of doing businesses in this country. And like I said, some of the parameters which have been used to prepare this particular report, they do include the legislation or the regulations in these countries. They also do get to include the infrastructure in these countries, the paperwork required, and also the cross-border trade framework in these different African countries. You will also look at the areas, because you might also try to consider which areas are also relatively okay. I do believe East Africa is a place where you can really consider setting up shop, because if you see Kenya is number 4 and it's in East Africa, we also do have We do have Tanzania. Tanzania should not be ranking as number 26. I would also like to disagree with this report for a second. I do see Tanzania ranking as number 26. I do believe Tanzania should be ranking at top 15. But like you said, Tanzania is working on its infrastructure. If you're looking for an area to go sort of set up shop, Tanzania is relatively okay, because one of the things I have not seen being put or considered on this report is corruption. And I do say Tanzania is relatively good when it comes to the minimizing of corruption. The government has tried working very, very difficult to curb corruption. And I do believe Tanzania should be ranking at top 15. We have Uganda. Uganda is also an East African country. Uganda happens to be ranking at number 16. Uganda is all right. There is no proper the level of infrastructure development is not. You cannot say it's really at its highest, because there is a potential to be able to even do more. But Uganda is ranking even way higher than Ghana. I think perhaps maybe I might also get a question with this particular report of Uganda ranking higher than Ghana. I would think that Ghana would rank a little bit better than Uganda, but both countries are also rocked with corruption. So that is also another parameter that we might also need to consider when you're coming up to Africa to set up shop. I have said Rwanda for me, and also Tanzania would be areas worth consideration. There are different sectors of the economy, or different industries where people can put in their energy or their focus towards, and see the possibility of getting involved with these. I said earlier, Rwanda is really developing, and there is a demand for housing. Someone might just decide they would like to check into that particular area. You might also check in the area of financial services or fintech. Yes, financial technology services would be good, because right now there is that particular gap of people being able to either transfer or either find just the financial services in Africa, and of course incorporating that with technology. You might also want to consider value addition from agribusiness to value addition. Maybe perhaps like we did see a little bit earlier with the presentation by Dr. Hanet. And I want to share a little bit of Dr. Hanet's video, and then we shall go back into seeing some of the other countries and how they rank in terms of the ease of doing businesses on the African continent, because I do believe it's very, very important that you have at least an understanding of how that particular one works as well on our beautiful continent of Africa. This is Dr. Hanet, and this is a little bit on her presentation. She was talking about
I'm sitting on a green stage.
The ideas, powerful ideas of getting set up right here on the continent.
So maybe you guys can switch that off. We can see.
By mail order. Now listen to this. The global dietary supplements market was valued at 140 billion US dollars for 2018, and we can expect an even greater upward trend as consider chia seeds, fish oil, green tea, grounded matcha, and many, many more. Now, both demand and awareness are trending fast among African consumers too, but not enough African entrepreneurs produce, brand, and smartly trade them. In short, Africa only owns a tiny market share of the global billion-dollar industry, and this is where you come in. Aggregate existing supplements in a warehouse in your African city and then offer mail delivery services locally. You don't have the money to start a warehouse? No problem. You can also partner with existing brands in Africa who offer drop shipping, which means they will mail the supplements for you if you find them the buyers. Number 2, run a food transport tracking app. I always remember one of my clients from Uganda who was the owner of a truck company owning a fleet of 10 trucks at the time. They were transporting agribusiness goods across East Africa. I will never forget how he missed many of our meetings and conversations. Why? Because he had to constantly be on his phone coordinating and managing requests, drivers, and deliveries. A few months later, I visited my cousin and a friend in the US. They are both working in the road transport industry too, but here's the difference. They access requests from potential clients and the status of their transporters via a simple online tracking system and app. The company running this tracking system doesn't even need to own any transporters. It is making a lot of money by simply tracking the schedules. Transport companies pay them a monthly subscription for using the app. Well, is $100 a month worth getting rid of the hassle my Ugandan client experienced managing his fleet himself? You bet. Now have 100 truck companies using your regional app and you're making 10,000 US dollars each month with little expenses. Number 3, rent out or lease agribusiness equipment or machinery. This is a business model I was made aware of by the former Minister of Agriculture of Ghana during a meeting we held in Accra, and it works across Africa. You see, many farmers and agribusiness manufacturers in Africa are facing tight cash flow or lending requirements, which makes it impossible for many to purchase new equipment or machinery. This is where you come in. Identify a fast, trending, and attractive niche in which you provide the equipment by renting it out per hour or leasing it for a few months. It's a great business model for the diaspora that can be managed from afar with local staff, as it doesn't really require daily operations. Invest in certain equipment or machinery, maybe even as a joint investment group, and then let the machines work for you. And number 4, becoming an import agent for African products. This business model is highly flexible, location independent, and all you need is your laptop. Look, there are thousands of producers in Africa who are already producing and exporting amazing products such as food items or natural skincare. But they have one challenge: finding buyers across the globe. This is where you come in. As an importing agent, you help them find these buyers. Supermarkets, health food shops, hotels, restaurants, beauty spas, for example. You don't need to ship or store any of these products yourself, nor do you pay for them. You simply link up the seller and the buyer and you get a commission. It will soon become a passive income stream because once you have acquired the client, you'll simply get a commission each time they reorder. And I have more good news for you. I'll teach you how to become an import agent for Africa anywhere in the world. If you want to learn more,
and that is Dr. Hannet's presentation on some of the ideas that she feels are worth consideration for investors either on the continent or even in the diaspora. Keith, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm pissed off. I see they took down the other channel again.
Yeah, they did. And the other one, you stream on both of them because it's the big one that was taken down. The other one is they have not touched the Keep News I'm Live. That it's still I'm still streaming on it.
Yeah, that one's up. It's the same show on there, so I put it on private, and I didn't even talk about anything because it was all fucked up. And I got up and went on the network and did that show. I didn't even talk about anything, and it was all because it was all messed up. They kept interrupting. That's how you know to listen to you. You know when we was behind the doing the testing yesterday, somebody was on it with us. You know that, right?
Yeah, I went out to go to the washroom and take a break, and Joby was telling me someone hacked it. Someone did hack the stream because I left for a minute.
That's them. That's them. That's them. Yeah. Constantly listening to what we're doing because the agenda. The agenda they got is fucking real. It's real. So Joe said, "Who's this person?" I'm like, we're not even live, Joby. We're on a test. We're not even. Nobody has any links. These are these motherfuckers.
But they have also they have also been messing with the stream on Zoe's end. That is why Zoe is not. Sometimes Zoe just gets in. The next minute he has been kicked out, and also even on your end, it keeps kicking you out on the stream as we do in the Africa.
Keeps kicking me out, or it keeps blocking me. I'll be in there, and it'll block me. It'll turn off my mic. It'll turn off my damn. I said, "What the hell is doing?" It just turns. It'll mute my mic, and it'll mute my Say you're now disconnected, about to be kicked off the stream. I'm like, what the hell is this thing doing? So
it's crazy. Let me ask you something.
Like faulty software.
I was trying to unblock. I was trying to unblock Monique. How do I unblock the user Monique from to be able to access back on the streams? But anyway, we'll do that behind after the show. I was just trying to figure out how do you unblock.
Isn't she blocked? Which channel is she blocked on? I don't know what the hell she blocked at. Which
I
one? Which one she
don't know
blocked
what
on?
channel, I don't know what channel she was blocked on, but I'll just she was saying that yesterday on the chat. But that will be back in 2 weeks. So that will be today's the sixth. Sorry, today's the sixth. That will be plus 14 on the 20th. I think the channel will be back on the 20th. So we might as well put go on.
Go ahead, Spike.
No, I'm just saying it will be back on the 20th. It should be back around the 20th after 2 weeks because today the 6th, so plus 14
Yeah.
that would be 20th on the 20th. And
Yeah,
but that is what we keep doing.
that's what.
That is what they will keep doing. I think you should. We will check on the settings for the other backup channel. See if we can put some of those also on private. But I was talking about the matter of doing business in Africa, and I was saying that some countries have been ranked. Mauritius has been ranked as the #1 country. But that is a tiny country where most of the things that do happen there is to do with the tourism. There's not a lot happening in Mauritius apart from tourism. But
Well, that's
someone can
tourism.
also,
That's true. Problem with Africa, it
yeah.
just so you got to find the problem with Africa. Just so it was created. It was created to be so goddamn corrupt. You got to find a country that you can actually do business without all the damn corruption.
Mm.
And it just set up. Her saying this is
Mm.
good, but a lot of the shit is set up as a chiefdom. You got. I think Kenya's getting better.
Mm.
Tanzania's getting better. I think Rwanda's good. I wouldn't do
Mm.
business in fucking Uganda at all. Are you crazy? And my friend
But
in Uganda, get out of here.
they
Uganda
are ranking it better than
is
Ghana. They are ranking it on
backwards
this
as hell.
ranking.
So I want
They are, I think we lost
go
your
ahead, Spike.
audio.
They do what now?
Now I'm saying they are ranking it better than Ghana. Uganda has been ranked as number
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, I do. I can hear you.
Uganda has been ranked. What has Uganda been ranked?
Now I'm
Okay,
saying
what has Uganda been ranked? You know it's a lie because Uganda is a.
Uganda is ranked as number 16, while
What has been
Ghana is
ranked as?
number 16. I'm saying Uganda is number 16, while Ghana is number 17 on this report that considers infrastructure, considers the regulations in the country. It considers the paperwork. It also considers other elements of business and trade. And they're saying Uganda has been ranked as number 16, better than Ghana. But even when you look at the concept, sorry, even when you look at the ranking and compare it globally, you will find that even our best country on the continent of Africa that is considered very, very good, internationally, it's being ranked as around number, not even the top 10, or there's not a top 10 when it comes to the ranking. You do not have any African country that has been ranked top 10 in the world when it comes to ease of doing business. The best in Africa has been ranked as number 20 in the world. That was in 2019. And we do have Malawi. Malawi is also another country that is really not so much happens in Malawi, if you do ask me. There is a new president. What is his name? There's a new president in Malawi who was voted last year. And he has sort of been, he's on a high gear in terms of infrastructure. But I think that might also render his country in more debts, from the IMF or from the World Bank. But Malawi is relatively, let me say, it's really quiet. There's not much happening in Malawi. But if the government was to focus on development, sorry,
where do they rank? Where do they rank? Why are you mentioning Malawi? Where do they rank?
They're number 12. They're number 12, and they're better than Ivory. They're better than Ivory Coast and even Egypt. It has been ranked better than Egypt because it's ranking at number 12. They're saying Malawi doing business in Malawi is better than.
I wouldn't do no business in Egypt anyway. Run by the Arabs. I wouldn't do no business in Cote d'Ivoire. French control that. It's not really places I would. Angola's too goddamn corrupt. Congo is too corrupt. They get in there. It's crazy. I wouldn't do business, but maybe in Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda.
Mm. They're
Yeah,
saying
Rwanda.
Zambia also ranks better. Zambia actually ranks right after South Africa. Zambia, the corruption is very great, but I think they are on a mission to sort of spur the growth in the infrastructure in Zambia. But the corruption is crazy. They are number 7, and they are actually better than Uganda, and they are also better than Ghana. They are at number 7 after South Africa. The problem with South Africa, which is ranking at number 6, South Africa. The problem is with energy. They never have a really steady energy supply, because if you're trying to set up a factory or a company in Zambia, the main electricity supplying company is known as a Eskom, and Eskom every other minute the South Africans are really in the darkness.
You mean Zambia or South Africa? Zambia or South Africa?
South Africa. I'm talking about South Africa. They do have an energy problem,
I don't know about that, Spikes. You never been to South Africa. I'm gonna tell you. Hell no. You never been to South. I'm gonna tell you. South Africa is way more developed than Zambia. Way more. South Africa is the most developed country in Africa. Period.
Yeah,
more than Egypt, more than Morocco. It is the most developed country in Africa. If you're gonna build something in South Africa, if you got enough money, you'll get the energy that you need.
The money you would.
Pay for it. Yeah, you might have to pay for it, but you'll get the energy that you need if you got the money. But South Africa is the most developed country in Africa, hands down. Period. I've been to Egypt, and it's not as more developed as South Africa. South Africa is like Europe.
But the ranking is
except for the black people living in abject poverty.
Yeah, the ranking is at number 6 for South Africa. It's at number 6, and it is actually surpassed by Rwanda and Kenya. Kenya is at number 4. Rwanda is at number 2, and Morocco is at number 3. So the countries that come ahead of South Africa include Rwanda, Mauritius, Morocco, Kenya, and Tunisia. And then we do have South Africa at number 6. But I was saying, personally, I do feel that the energy sector, they can do better in terms of the energy sector, and see that there is enough energy supply, because these are the most industrialized country, but they still have challenges when it comes to electricity demand.
I don't know, like I don't think the lights go off as much. I don't think the lights go off as much. Yeah, I should switch the station. I forgot. I don't think the lights go off as much as Kenya does over in South Africa. I don't think. I never seen no. If I was in South Africa, I never seen no power outages, not once. I ain't never seen them. I'm sure they happen. I think they only happen in the black areas.
That is what I do hear from other people. I do get to ask. They always complain about Eskom because it's a monopoly. It's known as the Eskom, the main company, and it has been in so many problems. The government has tried to bail it out, and that is one of the challenges. But nonetheless, yes, I do see Tunisia is ranking better than South Africa, but I don't think I'd also be interested in setting up business because of the cultural factors. When you're setting up a business, you have to look at the cultural factors. Tunisia and Morocco are not, they are on top of the list here, but I wouldn't be interested in setting up a business in Tunisia and Morocco. I would just perhaps go with South Africa.
Tunisia is racist as shit. Them all these ancient African kingdoms. Tunisia is where used to be where Carthage was at. All these ancient black kingdoms are now by these Arabs, and they are racist than a motherfucker. Over the top racist. Where you got slavery going on up there in Libya and Tunisia. Racist and shit. So what people talk about? We got 54 countries, and why the fuck would you be mentioning the Arab countries? They're not African countries. People kill me with that shit. Kill me with bullshit. The 54 countries in Africa. No, you don't got 54 countries. You got 54. Those are not Africa. They're in Africa, but they're not African people. Those are fucking wicked ass Arabs.
And I agree. Yeah.
They don't want to partner with you. Sound crazy as cat shit.
So on these other platform, this is according to Africa.com. We do have the ranking for them. They do start with Rwanda. They also get to Kenya. They also get to Ghana, which is on another different ranking, and they also get to
So
Ivory
you got
Coast.
three exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's even better because there's no way Uganda is over
Mm.
no way Uganda is over Ghana or Kenya or anything. Uganda is backwards, fucked up. We're gonna be keep it real and keep out. Nobody's going to Uganda to do no damn investment with that moron in office. The country is backwards because he's backwards. Nobody's going. Only one's got control of the company are big companies from Britain or now the Chinese moving in. But as far as you being like a regular individual doing business in this backward ass country, you'll go broke. You'll go broke because of the culture is full of corruption. The population is uneducated. Hell no. You couldn't get me to go to Uganda, open up a goddamn pizza shop. Crazy as shit.
That will be, but we did see Akon try and go up and getting a free, what do we call it?
Akon is a
Getting,
puppet. Akon's a puppet sponsored by the Chinese, and the whole thing with Akon is dumb because if the regular people are not going to be able to benefit from any of the things, why build it? It's idiotic. I'm gonna have people fly in who have millions of dollars, and it's not going to help the Ugandan people at all. That's a good thing. Yes, I believe if they see it, they'll strive hard to try to make money. Motherfucker, how they gonna strive hard? And they got no industry in the business that allows them to afford the dumb shit that you're building, stupid. It's idiotic. It's more colonialism with a black face on it. He don't own the shit. It's just he's a front man for the Chinese. Get your goofy ass out of here.
he has been going around Senegal with his that was Akon city in Senegal, and also now wants to put up
He don't own none of the shit.
another one in Uganda. But also,
Yeah,
looking at, yeah.
Go ahead. Looking at what now?
I'm saying, looking at this particular list of the ranking of the countries, you would imagine that Nigeria would be anywhere on this particular one, but Nigeria, being the largest African economy, doesn't rank anywhere. It ranks at number 21. This is at number 21. One of the things I do believe,
because it's so corrupt.
Yeah,
Nigeria's corrupt. Nigeria should be number one in everything, period. But it's so corrupt, so backward, so idiotic. It's too discombobulated. If you're outsider coming in, it's too tribal. The country wants to split up because you got bad management. You got the British left the houses in charge because they were easily the ones to be dominated. The British left them in charge over the Igbo and the Yoruba. Now, but all the money of the countries with the Igbo and the Yoruba, because if they break free, the houses would be impoverished. So that's why they can never let them go. And the Yoruba and the Yoruba and the Igbo now say we want the fuck out of this dumbass country that the British set up, this baloney state. Because the Hausa have now stepped over their boundaries by stealing people's land, grazing on farmland that don't belong to them, doing all kind of wicked ass shit where the government does nothing. The government's behind the fucking Boko Haram shit that they won't crush. You won't have no militia run around no country. You have a real military because they Muslim like you, kidnapping and raping women and shit. That's the government. I can't be safe under this goopy ass government because we're Islamic. Oh, Akbar. I get to rape your children, your daughters. Fuck all that. This backward ass religion, these backward ass Negroes. I want out of the country. I want out of this shit too.
When you, of course, there has to be a level of safety when you are putting in your investment, and Nigeria is also not that particular place where you are sure that you're protected.
It's not stable. I put my investments in, I put my shit in Nigeria is not stable. It's a thiefdom. British purposely put the houses in charge so to keep the money flowing to Britain. So it's a thiefdom. And it's purposely been made a basket case Now it's purposely being made a basket case now because of its rising ability to become a real economy in the world. So it's now been torn apart within, and you got dummies running the country. They got a bunch of idiots running that country, bunch of thieves. It's so corrupt, and it's sad. It doesn't have to be that way, but it is. It's a thiefdom. But all the politicians are stealing all the damn money. They make 100 times more than fucking the regular people because you sitting there don't even do shit. Your salary is 200,000 dollars a month. It's crazy shit in American money.
Yeah,
You can't even justify you making no $20,000 a month or 100, whatever they make. This shit is outrageous.
and you will find people, even I think even the framework of operating a business in Nigeria is a bit difficult. Apart from the corruption and everything else, I think even the framework
Your
of
country's backwards. Your country doesn't have any good roads. Your country doesn't have hospitals. But yet you as an MP are making $20,000 to $40,000 a month. You can't even justify your salary. How the fuck are you getting $40,000 US money and you got no fucking hospitals in your country?
it's actually just a thiefdom, just like you labeled it. It's just a thiefdom, and
It's
then
shameful. It's
it's just
shameful. It mocks as Africans being backwards. It's shameful. It
but
is
also
shameful as hell. Go ahead,
yeah.
Spikes.
I'm saying also when it comes to the matter of these countries also being the best destinations for setting up an investment or opening up business, there have been some of them that have been impacted. For example, right now, Sierra Leone, they're talking about going back to a lockdown. Is it Sierra? Yeah, that is Sierra Leone talking about going back to a lockdown. So even if people are trying to come up and make a better
They're
business
not
environment,
independent. Exactly. They're not Sierra Leone's not independent. Go to a lockdown for what? We know this. We can't even talk about it because we know this thing is bullshit. Going to a lockdown for what? Huh? Because their white masters told them to do it. I wouldn't fuck around no Sierra Leone. You'll get killed up in there because they'll do everything white people tell them to do. Hell no. Hey, I want you to inject all these niggas with this thing. So Sierra Leone government's now saying it's mandatory that you do this because white people told them because they getting a kickback. Fuck Sierra Leone. I wouldn't go to that fucked up country. I wouldn't go to that puppet ass state.
it's ranking. It's actually ranking at number 38 number 38 on the schedule. And now, of course, your guess is right. Number 54, which is the last country on this particular ranking, happens to be Somalia. You know, in Somalia, you're sure you'll never even have good sleep on your investment business. So
I won't
it's
be doing no business in no damn Somalia. That's a failed state. I'm gonna do some business in Somalia. That's crazy.
so if you're looking for
Good luck, good luck on that investment. Somalia.
it's number it's number 54 out of 54. It's number 54
I
out
wouldn't,
of
I wouldn't even be doing no potato farming in that motherfucker.
yeah, your whole farm might either be taken over by the Al Shabaab and
Yeah, right.
you no longer
Yeah,
have a
right.
farm.
The
Or
goddamn Al Shabbat and all these old Islamic nuts and shit. Allah Akbar, give me your farm, cause in the name of Allah, man, you'll get your ass out of here.
they also do have the Central African Republic ranking at
Oh
number
hell no, that's another failed state. Hell no, the ignorance. Nope,
ranking.
nope, 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 nope. Hell no, another French disastrous ass colony. Nope. Not
That is
not Sierra Leone, not Guinea-Bissau, not Bikini Faso. No French colony where I put a goddamn dime in. Hell no.
and if you look at those West African countries that you're talking about, most of them are ranked from number 30. You know, Sierra Leone 37, Cameroon 39,
Oh, it's not Mali, not
Mali,
Chad.
yeah.
None of those French colonies. They are all basket cases, and the people are backwards and they've been made ignorant by the French. Hell no.
But
You'll
you know,
lose money like hell. Nope.
this report also shows apart from Ivory Coast, none of the West Africa apart from Ivory Coast and Ghana, Apart from Ivory Coast and Ghana, none of these other West African countries make it to top 20. There is Ivory
No,
Coast,
the
Ghana,
best. Well,
Senegal. Yeah.
Ghana
Those are,
was a British. Ghana was a British colony.
oh, yeah.
Wasn't
So,
French colony, so it's a little bit better. The French destroyed when the French destroyed the part of Africa they went. Ghana was a British colony. It wasn't a French colony. The French completely destroyed the African mind, destroyed the countries. The French did so much damage. No, hell no. Hey, this ancient. This used to be a French colony. Count me out. Count me out, Jack. Count me
you're
out.
not, you're not going to put in any of your investments in those countries. It's
No,
not what, would also not, not
hell
also,
no.
I would also not encourage anyone to waste their money. But we do have the responsibility also as a people really to sort of inspire, the connectivity, because if we were people want to break down the barriers between these countries, it doesn't. We do not really have to say Mali or whatever. If people want to break down the barriers, the market would expand, and eventually, at the end of the day, maybe the countries that are not doing so well might be able to access other markets, and maybe there would be the growth in the economy for African continent. But right now, because of the breakdown in these small, tiny countries, for example, Eritrea is also number 53. It's the second last, Eritrea, and it's very, very tiny. So it will not even be able to have a big market. It's rich in for. Maybe the only market it might have would be Ethiopia. But it might also have the market of Djibouti, and it's limited in its
It's
way
a
because
small
it's
market, and it's
yeah.
a small market, and it's another basket case country. It's controlled by the Italians. They don't know where they coming or going. Eritrea is like a damn fiefdom. I wouldn't put a dime in that motherfucker. I don't even like to call it Eritrea. I call it Miss 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 misunderstood Ethiopians. Eritrea. You get out of here with that made up ass shit. It's an
That,
Ethiopians.
that's
Eritrea.
that's them. For Ethiopia,
I,
the
I'm
ranking.
now, I'm now irritated now. Go ahead, Spikes.
I'm saying the ranking for Ethiopia is also not any good because it's actually ranked as number 34, and it's even worse. They rank it worse than
Who? Ethiopia?
yeah,
Ethiopia?
yeah, they
Ethiopia?
rank.
E- Ethiopia has to come to when these countries got no nationalism. There's too many The thing in Africa, the tribal shit makes things always too hard. The separate the tribal shit is it's always the things that hold back Africa is the tribal shit.
Yeah.
Ethiopia got too many tribes want to separate. Start your businesses. One other guy I don't want to be part of this country no more. I want out of Ethiopia. Next thing you got a war with 10 people calling themselves a different people and all this old crazy shit. We are the walkaway people. Who are you? There's 30 of us now. We want to be considered an autonomous state of people. What are you talking about? You Ethiopia? No, fuck all that. We want our own autonomous region, Spikes.
That is
Where
always
my
been happening.
business is in this region. Damn your business.
It has been happening with the TPLF, but nonetheless, I do hope that they finally wake up and unite instead of disintegrating more into small into these are
Yeah,
smaller
you got
regions that they want to
to
integrate
take
into.
that's what keep. I know it's a lot of foreign. I know it's a lot of foreign hands that do this, but then the Africans got to wake up. Can't keep talking about I'm going to be my own autonomous region. Keep breaking down the smaller people. You call it some people where you lose more and more power. When the rest of the world's uniting, the EU, the United, the European Union, the Chinese, everybody's trying to unite and get bigger. It's the African only one time, but yeah, I want to get smaller and be autonomous. What are you
A,
talking about, dummy?
a country like Djibouti has less than 1 million
Go ahead,
people.
Spike.
According to this, a country like Djibouti has less than 1 million people. The last census was 973,000 people for Djibouti. And for Eritrea, they do have a little bit bigger population than Djibouti, but this is also its weakness. The more you disintegrate into small Djibouti, small Eritrea, small this, small that,
Of
you
course,
actually.
that's all. Of course, you're easy to be taken over. You got no real power, got no leverage. Exactly. That's why they carved Djibouti and Eritrea out of Ethiopia. Those are
Yeah.
Ethiopians. That's what it was. They're
This,
part of Ethiopia, and also was to make sure Ethiopia couldn't build a navy because it took away access to the ocean.
Yeah, so it's
It's one,
landlocked.
and so
Now,
it also weakened Ethiopia as a
yeah,
country. It
because you would
weakened the
imagine,
country.
yeah, you would imagine if Ethiopia did have its own port, then it would help. It would grow economically. It would be a hub because now it has,
Exactly.
but they blocked it,
Exactly.
and it was done with a purpose. Yeah, it
Of
was done with a purpose.
course.
To
Of
deny
course.
it.
White people don't. Of course. Of course, it was done with a purpose. It was done haphazardly. Of course, it was done with a purpose. You better believe that. Yeah, it was done with a
And
purpose.
I know they also try, build animosity between Djibouti and Ethiopia so that they will not have an agreement where they allow in, for the use of the port and for the
That's
development of it.
now different people. They're now different. I'm a Djiboutian. I'm an Eritrean. Well, damn, 100 years ago, you were all part of Ethiopia. Fuck all that. The white man said now we're different people, and now we are, and I don't want to help you. I can't stand you, motherfuckers. They argue all the time, always fighting and shit. It's
That
crazy.
is what is happening now. But nonetheless, our family, if you're winding up, and I just want to
Hey,
thank
let's
everyone.
come back and do a test. Let me come back because I want to share a video and explain a video with you guys behind in the test version for about 20 minutes.
Okay, no problem. Guys, we want to thank everyone for joining us on the broadcast. I want to wish you a happy and productive remaining part of the day. In case you want to check more information regarding the
What's
ranking of
up, family? Hopefully everybody realized that the Keith Newsom channel is going to be down for 2 weeks because of a show that we didn't even do. We didn't even do the show, and it was
I mean,
and it was and the stream was messed up. That's why it was only 30 minutes. I said, man, let me get up here and go back on the network where I could talk about the real thing, and I did, and they still took it down. That man, this is real.
let me update the family
So much stuff, family.
on other platforms. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity.
Now, Spike, I'll send it to you now.
Okay.